Greetings petrolheads, my name is the Tom, you're on my gaming channel and it's time for another episode of Automation, the car company tycoon game. Today I'm probably going to build two early 2000s American sports coupes, and the reason I say probably is solely because of time reasons. First up in the line, because it was requested first, is the 2002 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am, requested by Southern Rebel 22, and let's get right into that. We do have a choice of these two body shells, depending on which one actually is more relevant for us. The wheelbase is 2 meters 56 centimeters, so that would put us actually, yeah, that would make this one more viable here. Let's see, we do have pretty flat nose here, more like so. Then up front this one's pretty straightened up like so. This is maybe a little bit more extended outwards. And then how's the side profile per se? The front window is pretty much like that. The rear window is... Wait a minute, let me get a good picture of the side profile. Oh, there we go, okay. This is very flat as well. And we have a little bit of... yeah, this area up here is really small. We're gonna make it more like so. I know that the window is very rounded on the lower edge on the real Firebird, but you know, what am I gonna do about it? I can't change it here. So I guess we're stuck with that. Again, I see myself more as a designer than as a tuner, if you will. I haven't looked up the exact materials that it's made of. All I know it's longitudinal, and it's probably double wishbone front and rear, if I'm being 100% not honest but optimistic. Wasn't it plastic? A friend of mine actually used to own a 1996 Firebird, and I think I remember it was... wasn't it plastic? The body panels? I don't know anymore. Like, I know absolutely nothing about cars, as you can probably tell from my videos, but yeah, anyway, I'm gonna try my best with this design here. So, what do we got going on in front? And we do have some pop-up headlights. If I could actually find them. They're right there. Let's see, these ones should be alright. Yes, but we need to modify their size a little more like that, actually. There's that. Then we have some very, very aggressive vents on the bonnet like these. And underneath those we have some of those, I think would be the best ones. Let's rotate them a little bit. No, it's not the way I wanted this to be. More like that, come on. More like that, yeah. And then of course we can run one of these through the middle of them. just so we achieve an even closer look to the original. Actually, this might look terrible. Yeah, let's leave that. So, good. There is that, and then what we also have on this front end is no, not another event. We have one of these things actually, which is pretty big, and then almost as big as these, we have some fog lights like right here. And then on the sides we have some vents that are again pretty aggressive. Like overall this car is just this car is just, maybe they've gone a little too far on aggressive styling with it, to be totally honest, because you know it wasn't all that capable in comparison to, you know, say a Ferrari or a Porsche, and but it's alright. We do need cars like these from time to time, just to remind ourselves that, you know, Porsche styling and in recent years also Ferrari styling has kind of become, you could even say, a little bit conservative. And therefore therefore, cars like this that are, you know, like a TVR Sagaris, basically, you take a relatively decent shape for a car, and then you hit it with an axe a couple of times, it seems, and that's what you end up with. It's still alright. It's fine. It's not bad or anything like that. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just very unusual per se, and it's yeah, you have to get used to this kind of styling. Anyway, I think we might even be done with the front already, and on the side we have a very little white indicator, like right, oh, come on, right there. The door handles, what do they look like? Give me a good picture of this, please. That's not a good picture. That's actually not a close-up or anything like that. Okay, so we do have these, I would say, and then there's not much else going on the sides. Actually, yes, there is. And on the same level of height as this, there's another one, and this needs to go further down as a result. There's another one of these across these sides here. I don't know if I can drag this particular fixture across the whole side, because you can't do that with all fixtures. But we'll try. Oh, yes, it actually does work. So we need to go a little bit further down, which we can't. Now we can, though. Now we can't make it longer. Why? Make it thinner then. Please? Let me actually choose this thing. Thank you. Okay, still doesn't work. What the heck did I just do? Why am I able to do it now? Anyway, just imagine this went for all the way until the rear fender. Okay. For the taillights. Or first of all, let's actually add a wing that looks somewhat close, because we don't have the exact same wing in the game yet. Let's actually add one that looks decently close, at least, not 100% accurate. Yeah, let's add this one, and then we actually have some pretty interesting, for say, taillights, and I think are gonna be a little bit difficult to make. So while I'm thinking how I would do this properly, I'm actually going to add the rear bumper. And this is, if I haven't mentioned it before, this is gonna be the Trans Am version. So we're gonna have quad exhaust in this thing, which is nice. And yeah, so actually, let me try something. I might actually want to make number plate this way in this particular car. Actually, no, that's not the way I would like that to be. So let's just do it the old-fashioned way. So, basically, and we don't have very much else in here, and on this rear bumper other than the quad exhausts. So let's add those. And yeah, so how are we gonna make this look appropriate? We need to start small, really. We need to make the part that is going to be rounded with an oval taillight fixture, and that goes down pretty much like this. And then we need... Actually, we might even be able to do it with just one more fixture. No, I'm not going to be able to do that, because it would go over this one, and we don't want that. So... let's just make sure that the red areas of the lights I put down actually are in line vertically with one another, and that seems to be the case right here. And then we have some black between those. Actually, they need to be bigger, I think, all the way. Everything about them needs to be bigger. Because there's not that much black between them. They're really, really massive taillights, to be honest with you. And I know you're probably gonna ask me for this. You probably want me to do that kind of beehive type structure inside of those taillights, and I'm sorry I have to disappoint you. This would probably take 3 hours, and I'm not even exaggerating, if you want to make it look proper. And I don't have that time for this. Like, I can show you the tools to make this work, which shouldn't be really a secret. If you have the mod pack, you go for these things, and then you make them very thin and try and add structure by putting them on top of the taillights, and just make it look like a beehive type structure. But as I said, if you really want to do that properly, it's probably gonna take like 3 hours. And again, I'm not exaggerating on that one. So we do have some other taillight fixtures on here as well, which is why I stopped on this for a second. And we do have them in a position like that. So we're gonna have to build the black areas around this thing. Actually, it's probably easier to just go for one of these again, even though it's not gonna be 100% accurate. There's that, and then we have the badge on here as well, which looks pretty much like this one. Not entirely, but closer than any other badge we have in the game. And on top of that it says Trans Am. So there's the aesthetics for the Firebird Trans Am. I think we should name it that. 2002 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am. Okay. We should repaint it as well, maybe blue like this. Okay, I'm fine with that. It is rear-wheel drive, obviously. And then we are going to go and build the engine. It is a crossplane V8. It is made from aluminium. Oh, the engine blocks were cast in aluminium. Yeah, were cast in aluminium, so it's aluminium basically. And it is 99 times 92. Good. It is a push. Is it a modern push rod? Yeah. Might be. So we do have, what kind of internals do we have? I don't know. It's probably cast iron crank. And to be honest with you, probably cast conrods as well. And these maybe? Hyper-redacted cast. Okay, so now that it is naturally aspirated, and now that I couldn't find the compression ratio to it, I think that I'm just gonna leave this as is and then try and go on and fine-tune it a little bit later. It does have multi-port fuel injection. Runs on E85. What is that? It's probably like regular fuel here. Rev limit is how much? Must be around 6,000 RPM because the peak is 345 horsepower at 5,600. So I just probably running tubular exhausts, dual exhausts, because we have, you know, 4 exhaust tips. It's probably a freeway cat, and I don't know about the mufflers, so I'm just gonna add 2 straight through mufflers. We're way beyond our limit for compression. 319. So we need to actually make this. We need to make this power earlier. So we need to probably increase the ignition timing. That's 5800, 5800, 5900, 5600. Okay, good. 322. 325 is actually what they're rated at. And the torque is at 4,400 RPM. That's kind of interesting. How about transom? Oh, wait a minute. That is an article about the transom in general from 1977 to, well, till the end, really. Yeah, it was rated at 310 horsepower actually, and later at 325. I have no, like, I don't even know. Like, which one am I supposed to replicate? You know, which one is the real one, if you will? Which one is, again, like on the Toyota Corolla, just there seems to be like a lot of different options, and I'm not really that sure which one is the proper one to replicate. Anyway, it does come with a manual gearbox, but I'm not sure if it's a 5 or a 6 speed. Let's see, does it say anything here? Transmission. Yeah, it's a 6 speed. Top speed is 260 kilometers an hour. So we'll yeah. So this should be it then. 0 to 100 kilometers an hour is done in 4.7 seconds, which is actually quite good. What are the... Does it have a diff? I don't know. Oh, excuse me. I don't know if it has a diff. We'll come back to this section later. What kind of tires does it have? I don't know, but probably sports tires and like 245s in the rear, probably, or something like that. Oh, again, excuse me. Holy crap. The sneeze is real. It comes on 16s if I'm not mistaken, because they used to have really small rims in order to allow for higher profile, which effectively gives more grip, I think. 205's front should be fine. Alloy wheels probably, it could be steel as well. It probably has like solid discs with like 2 pistons front and 1 piston rear. Because overall, like I don't want to sound mean, but a Pontiac is not that refined of a sports car. Like it's, or let's say not that high tech, if you will. and therefore I am assuming that it does not have the 4-piston or even 6-piston brakes, especially since it's also based on the Camaro, sort of, which is also not a very refined car to begin with. For seats with standard interior, I would say, and the standard CD entertainment, I've sat in a 1996, excuse me, Firebird with 170 horsepower. It was the V6, obviously, and that is what it appeared to me. It was not utterly disappointing, but it was, you know, could have been a little bit more inside of there. Anyway, we do have power steering and ABS, unless I'm terribly mistaken, and I think, no, it does not have traction control. At least the one I know, the 170 horsepower V6, does not have traction control, but I'm assuming that the Trans Am does, because it would be silly if it didn't. Standard safety. Look, again, I don't know what the setup of the suspension here is. I'm just gonna assume it's gonna have gas monotube dampers, and then go for a sport setup here. And we get, yeah, the fuel economy that I pretty much predicted. It's actually a little bit lower than I thought. Total cost is, as you can see, not very high. Okay, that is interesting. 6.1 seconds. Yeah, we're getting so much wheel spin. Even then we have 5.5. Even with an electric diff we have 5.0 as our 0 to 100 kilometers an hour time. It does not have an electric diff, I'm pretty sure of that. But since I wanna make the 0 to 100 kilometers an hour time as similar to the real car as possible, I assume I should give it a diff. It makes this kind of possible. Also, how much does it weigh? 1560 kilograms, okay. And we are at 1254. Oh, okay, so we need to add more weight. We could go for a 5th seat. We could go for, you know, the entertainment wasn't that bad. Let's try this. Both its panels are actually plainly made from steel. Steel here. I mean, that would increase our weight. Yeah, there we go. Does this help the acceleration? It did not. It did not. But with the open differential, we're at 5.7 as opposed to 6.1, I think we were. So it does not make that much of a difference anymore. 5.2. What's our weight distribution at now? 53.6 to 46.4. I cannot increase the width of these tires anymore. Yeah, I mean, yeah, so this is gonna be the Pontiac Firebird, and I hope you enjoyed this one. And the other one I wanted to make in this same video is probably gonna be made in the next video, because this one's been going on for 30 minutes or so. So I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, please click the like button, it helps out a great deal. Also consider subscribing to my channel if you want to see more in the future. But for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.